Hey guys, no gym needed, coming to you for a chapter analysis on solo leveling. We called it. I said, I want to say he's going to the Sea of Trees, but there's nothing special about that place except it has no cell phone reception. Then I said, maybe the World Tree, because I quickly speculated maybe it's the source of mana. And I just pictured a barren world with tons of residual magical energy and a massive tree. But now I see, because the King of Giants was killed there, it got a lot of extra mana in the land. And it's a really good place to fight because it's all barren now. So, yeah, I figured mana from the gates equally spread out all over the earth. So I didn't think that that place was special beyond it just being an awesome battlefield. But yeah, we kind of called it. a combination of what we said came true, so cool. Next. The Dragon Emperor's Takano Jitsu. We knew it. We knew he was going to try that. He straight up tried to get Jinwoo to fight against the rulers. No, no, no. We already knew Jinwoo would not sympathize with him. We knew he would see right through that. He ain't got nothing on Jinwoo's ability to see through people to their true self. So the Sovereigns got one order from the beginning, and that was to destroy everything. But they won't say it's from the Absolute Being. It's weird. Maybe it's like an echo from his order to the beings of light. You know, the equivalent exchange. Every form of light casts an equally dark shadow. So the Absolute Being itself made the abyss. And the rulers made the sovereigns. And the 2-wing and 4-wing rulers made the denizens of all the different denizens. Because if you think about it, when Jinwoo saw the system playback, there was as many 2-wing rulers as there was like entire denizens everywhere. And the only reason that the rulers were able to get the upper hand was because they had the 2 sovereigns helping them. So that's interesting. I think that's what happened, and that's why the war would go on forever. They were equal. But the Shadow Sovereign was raising up so many of the rulers. I'm surprised he didn't keep them in his army. The 2-winged ones, at least. And yeah, it's funny because when I talk about the Absolute Being, I put AB. And every time I see AB, I know it's Absolute Being. And I always say the Absolute Being also creates the Abyss because of how brilliant its light is. And the Abyss is its shadow. But Abyss starts with AB. So, you know, you got the AB and you got the AB. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see. What else we got? Yeah, and humans are interesting. Humans are both light and dark creatures. They don't have a particular order to protect or maintain or destroy. Yet we've seen many evil humans and many pure-hearted ones in solo leveling so far. There was, back in the beginning when I was first reading this, every time he went into a dungeon, it was so sketchy. There's so many creepy and sketchy and flaky people in there. Oh man, there were some evil people. And there's also pure-hearted ones. Let's take Jinwoo for example. Jinwoo is just awesome. He had a good heart from the start, and he overcame his darkness, and now he's a being of absolute darkness. And I just think humans are special. And also there's no magic energy in Earth, or possibly in their whole universe, depending on if they're actually from a completely different dimension or if they're just from a different farther part of the universe. It's a little sketchy on that, but I'm pretty sure they're from a completely different dimension. So we need to learn more about the mechanics of the solo leveling world. What else we got? Oh, R.I.P. Kaisel. Man, that's sad. Kaisel was a good, faithful dragon. He went and took Jin Woo on his date with Cha Hain. I liked Kaisel. Now we gotta talk about Jin Woo's new power. Yo, it is OP. Straight up spiritual body manifestation. Man. Now, this was what got me. He couldn't even make a little potion. He was trying so hard and he couldn't even make a potion. So I didn't want to say he was going to do something like this. It was in the back of my mind, but when I thought about it after he did this, he did make that shadow armor. When it was crazy because he couldn't make the potion, like at all. And then when he needed to go talk to all the government rulers and his clothes was all messed up, he manifested the shadow armor. So I forgot about that. And then what was cool about this, which made it so much more believable and not contradictive at all, is he stuck to what he could do. He built the armor, and then he built on that. He kept making the armor bigger and bigger. And that's a good lesson for us. Stick to what we can do and build on it. And then later you can go back and strengthen your weaknesses too. But this is really an unexpected development. He was not ready for the Emperor of Dragons to have this level of a form. He thought, his Kamish wraths would be pretty good. He thought he was going to have to fight the guy in human form, I guess, and he was going to stay in human form, but he was wrong. So, did this hinder his plan? Well, no. He wasn't expecting the Lord of Destruction to have that form. But by him attaining that same form of his own, that put his plans back on track. Now, he's still got to deal with the rest of the army and the other two sovereigns. In the moment Fang, attacked the Sovereign of Dragons and then dropped the bead of avarice, well, I'm sure the Sovereign of Transfiguration found their location and they're going to be going there as soon as possible. And I just think they're going to watch the fight between the Dragon Emperor, or they're going to try to butt in and the Dragon Emperor is going to do one of his crazy mana voice shouts and be like, "Don't interfere." He's going to really be enjoying the fight with Jin Woo. Okay, so what possible scenarios are there? I'm sure that the other sovereigns are going to come to the Sea of Trees. And because think about this. Imagine Jin Woo loses. Everything's doomed. They're going to have to, hopefully the rulers can turn back time and give him another chance, and then he has to win. But no, that's not going to happen. The army and the two sovereigns are going to come there. And then we still haven't seen Jin Woo put his, do those crazy army formations and call back shadows freely in order to make awesome strategic military patterns. So hopefully he's still going to use that for something. Now they're just going to be watching, and Jin Woo probably is going to somehow defeat the Shadow Sovereign, but he's not going to be able to kill him. And then the other two sovereigns are going to get in there, and they're all going to try to attack Jin Woo at once. And somewhere, I think at the perfect time, the rulers are going to come in, because we want to see the rulers exercise some power. So, I mean, the other two sovereigns are more or less fodder to Jin Woo. They are. So, we want to see the rulers fight those two sovereigns, honestly. It would be cool if Belian fought one of them, but Belian probably... Dude, think about it. Belian is a 4-wing ruler and a shadow creature. He's strong. Now imagine when those 6-winged rulers come in. We want to see them fight for sure. It would be so cool. So I'm going to say it's going to be an epic battle between Jin Woo and the Dragon Emperor. Jinwoo is finally gonna get the upper hand. And Jinwoo just, you know how Madame Selner's like, you're gonna sacrifice one for everyone. Well, I mean, he can't just sacrifice himself to kill the Dragon Lord, because that leaves two sovereigns and an entire army of, you know, millions of Chaos World denizens. And who knows when the rulers is gonna get there. So he has to take them all out. He has to have a plan to take them all out somehow. He is going to get the upper hand on the Dragon Emperor. Then the other two are going to try to jump in. And then I think, you know, some S-rank hunters are going to come back into play. But I don't know how they could get to the Sea of Trees. I think the people in Japan are going to use their technology to see all the crazy magic energy fighting there, and how it all just popped up on their screen. They're gonna call Korea, Hunters Association, America, let them know what's going on and that the battle changed locations to Japan. And then you might get some hunters there. We had so much character development for Chahain and, you know, all of these hunters, and now it's just done. I know they became fodder, but they could still do something to help out. I'm thinking like some kind of Genki Dama, some kind of spirit bomb where they give Jinwoo power somehow. I'm not sure how that would work. Maybe a new technique will manifest, but I think the rulers will come in and they're gonna start doing some damage. We're gonna see some sovereigns versus rulers. We want to see that. Jinwoo can't destroy them all on his own. Then the rulers get there. Oh, thanks, buddy. You get to keep your planet. And yeah. What? Yeah, no. Jinwoo's gonna have an epic fight. The sovereign's gonna try to step in, but the rulers are gonna come in. And that's my prediction. So I really want to see the rulers fight. At least a few of them. There's 4 ruler generals, and as far as I know, there's only the Dragon Sovereign left. The Sovereign of the White Flame, the blonde smiley guy, and then the Sovereign of Transfigurations. So there's 4 sovereigns left, and wait, what? The Dragon Sovereign, the Sovereign of White Flame. No, there's 3 sovereigns left. There's at least 4 generals of the rulers and Jinwoo coming. So the odds are really in the favor of the rulers here, big time. But I mean, what if at the very last second Jinwoo teams up with the sovereigns too, because the rulers kind of look a little sketchy. Oh, I don't know, but I'm calling how I think it's gonna play out. I've already said it, don't need to repeat it now. I would like to see some dialogue between Bellion and the rulers. I would like to see some dialogue between Jinwoo and the rulers. I'd like to see some dialogue between the rulers and the sovereigns. And I'd like to see, because the rulers want to act so righteous and stuff, like they're always helping people, but they got their own no-goods. I'd like to see the sovereigns call them out. And I'd like to see the rulers, you know, point out something about the sovereigns, and then the sovereigns, they're gonna tell the rulers something they never knew before. The sovereigns are gonna say, do you know who gave us our original command to go and destroy? And the rulers are gonna be like, what? Never really thought about it, you know? So that's gonna be really cool. And I wanna, you know, it's weird because the sovereigns and the rulers, they all speak the same tongue. I feel like they all came from the same place. It's kind of like a Tower of Babel thing here. And what else? Let me think of a couple more things before we end this video. Yeah, and this is going to be really unique because the old Shadow Sovereign acted kind of like a sovereign. He was really bent on revenge and just did everything head first. But Jinwoo, he can really be a mediator between the rulers and the sovereigns. And I'm telling you right now, the rulers do not know who gave the sovereign their original orders. The rulers don't even know that the sovereign had original orders, it seems like. So we need to find out the truth of the Shadow Sovereign's power. We need to find out the truth of the sovereign's original orders. as well as their origins. And we really need to know more about the ruler's origins on the world tree and what role the absolute being played in all that. And we need some details about how the rulers went about trying to kill the absolute being and what the absolute being's perspective was at that time. Alright, I'll see you guys later. If you're reading Solo Leveling and you're at this part and you found this video before you read more chapters, let me know what you think's gonna happen below. And Jing Wu, you the man. Just keep leveling up. We're supporting you all the way. Be sure to level up my video with a thumbs up. Hey guys, I was thinking overnight, and where did the Dragon Lord even get his human body? It looks like he just robbed some random middle-aged man. So I'm predicting that since Jinwoo's body has been trained to handle the Shadow Lord's power, that he can last longer in a fight. The Dragon Lord's gonna be in ecstasy. He's gonna be raising his power, but then his body is not gonna be able to handle it. He's not gonna want to die and, just turn to ash, so he's gonna have to revert back to his normal form. And that's when things are gonna get into what we talked about. So let's look forward to those developments and let's see if they happen. Alright guys, No Gym Needed signing out. Talk to you later. Bye.